Chances are you know someone with a disability, a family member, a coworker, a classmate, even your neighbor. At the League for the Blind and Disabled, we believe our community is made richer by the contributions of all its members, including those with disabilities. We serve people with significant disabilities throughout Northeast Indiana. Our mission is to provide and promote opportunities that empower people with disabilities to achieve their potential, to advocate for themselves, make choices, achieve independence, and be included in the community. It's about making choices, taking control, and gaining independence. It's not your traditional view of people with disabilities.
Most organizations that serve people with disabilities serve them in order to rehabilitate them or fix them because they have a problem of some kind. And people with disabilities are viewed as folks that need to be fixed. At the League, we don't see things that way. We see the people we serve as the true experts in disability.
People with disabilities face barriers every day, physical barriers, attitudes, and segregation. The League for the Blind and Disabled is dedicated to changing that by advocating for reforms that improve society and by providing training and support. We teach people with newly acquired disabilities to care for themselves and their households. We work with young people and their parents to make sure kids get the education to which they're entitled. And we offer assistive technology to enable workers to perform their jobs. Our organization began as the Allen County League for the Blind back in 1950 in response to a challenge by Helen Keller. It initiated programs to include people who are blind in existing communities. We serve all people with significant disabilities, emphasizing self-help and self-advocacy, equal rights, and equal opportunities. In 1981, we became the first Center for Independent Living in the state of Indiana and continue to be the only cross-disability center in Northeast Indiana. In 1994, we changed our name to the League for the Blind and Disabled to reflect our wider range of services. We serve residents of Adams, Allen, DeKalb, Huntington, Jay, Kosciuszko, LaGrange, Noble, Steuben, Wells, and Whitley counties. The task is great. According to a recent report commissioned by the Indiana Council on Independent Living, there are over 78,000 people with disabilities in Northeast Indiana. Advocacy is a vital part of our mission at the League to help people get services to which they're entitled. In self-advocacy training, we work one-on-one, teaching people to act on their own behalf. We're advocates at the policymaking level as well, working with the Public Transportation Corporation to modify an existing transportation plan, working with businesses and organizations to solve accessibility issues, aiding businesses and government with ADA compliance, and educating members of the Indiana General Assembly. What are my rights? What laws are out there to protect me? What kind of transportation equipment and services are available? What do I do if I can't afford the assistance I need? Those are some of the most common questions thousands of people with disabilities ask every year. For a person with a disability, knowledge of their rights, options, and resources is essential. All of our staff are trained to provide information and referral services on the local, state, and national level. Help is as close as your phone or computer. In our peer support program, people with disabilities have the opportunity to meet an experienced mentor with similar disabilities. This mentor can share his or her own knowledge and experiences to provide practical, real-life solutions to everyday problems. Travel can be a huge obstacle for people with a disability. The League's Orientation and Mobility Program teaches people the skills they need to get around, whether it's school or work, around the neighborhood, or around town. We offer white cane training and public transportation travel training.
One moment, please.
Sometimes the right equipment can mean the difference between working and not working, between communication and isolation, between independence and dependence. We have a well-stocked inventory of independent living aids and adaptive technology. Consumers can try this equipment here or borrow them to see if they meet their needs.
At the League, I use several different pieces of equipment so I can do my job. The computer has a voice output system, so everything talks. So I'm not using the mouse, I'm using keystrokes, and I'm listening to everything as I type. I use the Perkins Brailler all the time to take notes if I'm handling phone calls, and when I'm out visiting with people, I'll use the Slate and Stylus to take Braille notes. just because it's smaller and more lightweight. The league has made these accommodations and they make sure I have the equipment I need so that I can do my job. And as the Senior Blind Services Coordinator, I meet with people on a daily basis and I show them what's available to help them live independently and do their daily living skills.
The League is the only organization in Northeast Indiana that produces documents and business cards in Braille. We transcribe information in Braille using an electronic Braille embosser on a fee-for-service basis for government and businesses.
I see some fish.
What do kids like to do for fun? Day camp at Franke Park? Swimming at the Y Drum Camp? Youth Services helps kids with disabilities participate in programs like these. We offer support and technical assistance to include children in community activities. The League works with schools, providing training for teachers and support for students and their parents. We offer peer support opportunities, family mentoring, and advocacy assistance to help parents become advocates for the rights of their children. Youth Services is one of our many collaborative efforts, and it is funded in part by United Way. For people age 55 and above who are blind or visually impaired, the League for the Blind and Disabled provides daily living skills training, adaptive equipment, orientation and mobility instruction, travel training, and other independent living services. The purpose of the program is to help these consumers maintain a high quality of life and live independently in their own homes and communities. Imagine going to a doctor for test results and not being able to hear what they say, or going to a lawyer for your will and not being able to communicate. People who are deaf and hard of hearing face these challenges every day. DeafLink is a program of the League that provides sign language interpreting and case coordination services throughout Northeast Indiana. Interpreting services are provided on a fee-for-service basis by on-staff and independent contract interpreters. With the onset of a disabling condition, simple daily tasks can seem overwhelming, but people can often do the things they've always done, whether it's getting dressed or balancing the checkbook, just in a different way. At the League, our staff teaches daily living skills like personal and household management, money management, and communication. These skills can be a major factor for the consumer remaining in his or her own home. The League also assists consumers who want to transition out of a nursing home and back into the community, as well as assisting consumers to avoid nursing home placement to stay in their own homes.
I'm on my own. I'm out in the world. I feel free.
Many other consumers are able to stay in their own home with the services from the League's in-home care program. In order to accomplish this, the League provides homemaker, attendant care, and respite care services on a fee-for-service basis in the homes of those we serve. Whether through our Independent Living Skills program or the in-home care program, taxpayers save up to $52,000 per year for each person who stays out of the nursing home. Our service extends to the entire community. Each year, our staff talks about disability awareness to students from kindergarten to college. We speak to clubs and organizations throughout our 11-county service area. We test hundreds of preschoolers every year in our vision screening program to detect potential problems early on. And we take part in health, information, and educational fairs throughout the region. All this is possible thanks to a dedicated staff and to a corps of dedicated volunteers. Their contributions of time and talent are invaluable.
Mostly, I drive for the League. I pick up the people and bring them to their meetings here. And after their meetings, I take them home. And from time to time, some of their clients will need transportation to the hospital. I've taken a couple down to Indianapolis. I've taken one over to Columbus, Ohio for dog training. Just anything that they need, I'll try to provide if I can.
Just a few hours of your time can make a difference. Volunteers are needed in the office as home visitors with preschool vision screening, peer counseling, and as drivers in all areas of service. Volunteers help us keep administrative costs down. That means more of our budget goes to people we serve. Volunteers have donated over $5,000 to the League for a savings of over $91,000. The League's funding comes from government grants, foundations and trusts, organizations, third-party fees, and private donations. With your help, we can continue to serve consumers through advocacy, training and support, information and referral, and other individualized services. We can continue our mission of providing and promoting opportunities that empower people with disabilities to achieve their potential. For the consumer, it means more choices, greater control, and greater independence.
When you support the League for the Blind and Disabled, you do help people with disabilities in their efforts to achieve their potential. But you also help the community by keeping people with disabilities in their homes and in their neighborhoods so that they can contribute to the quality of community life. You benefit other nonprofits as we collaborate with them to get more impact for your investment in our organization and in other organizations. And we as taxpayers benefit. When people with disabilities are able to stay in their homes and stay in their neighborhoods and stay out of institutions, we all benefit from that. So thank you for your support, and thank you for your continued support.
Advocacy, choice, opportunity, support, training, providing opportunities for persons with disabilities to become included in all aspects of community life. As a result, their contributions enrich our community and our society. We're working to make a difference. Thank you for supporting the League for the Blind and Disabled. The rewards are great.